The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back to the Local Show here on 570 WSYR 106.9 and on the iHeart Music app. Where'd Tom go? You know what? Tom just scooted away. Tom wasn't feeling all that great, so you are stuck with me here at the Local Show. And we drag Sonia and say hi, Sonia.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Sonia is one of the backbones here at Zoe Advertising and does lots of stuff, and we pay her too much, but we're glad she's here. So welcome to the studio. We've got Joe Stanley, founding partner of Stanley Law. How the heck are you, Joe?
Well, I'm good. You know, I'm still hanging in there. I'm in one piece, which you're always thankful for, especially the way the weather's been.
Absolutely. So,
yes.
So how are your tires working on your car?
Not that great. You know, and
tell your story. Go ahead.
I travel a lot, and so I have had cars, and I always want to make sure I have a spare because I've had cars with run flats, and they go wrong, but you can't get them.
Right.
And so if you have a run flat tire and you get to this gas station, if you don't have another tire, you have to wait days.
Right.
So I got another car, and I had a donut on it, and I had a flat on 81, hit a pothole. The car has very few miles on it.
Right.
That'll blow out. I didn't want to change it on 81 because it was a crappy day, and it's not the greatest road in the world
Sure.
to change a tire on.
No, of course.
Went to the next exit, pulled over, and did change the tire, put the donut on it. Drove the donut to the tire store.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad for you. We don't have the tire, can't get it until today, which is today. And that your rim, just driving that little bit damaged your rim, and the rim is no good.
What? So how much is the rim?
$1,000.
Ah!
No, thank you. I'm not going to complain about what it costs to re-register my car anymore.
Well, Sonia's got some miles because her family was in the transportation business, so she knows a lot about cars for a young lady. You've lost a few cars, haven't you, Sonia, here and there?
Yes, my first car got hit by a snowplow.
Well, you're fortunate to be here. So
thankfully I wasn't in it.
Oh, okay, because those are usually not good outcomes.
Yeah, no, 3 a.m. I have people telling me, we have a town car out here in the middle of the road. It's totaled. Gee, thanks. So glad.
Thank you, City of Syracuse.
Yep.
So a lot more fender benders and probably personal injury things in the winter, right?
Many more, and just the tires and having good windshield wipers are things that are important. You don't really think about when the weather's lousy, but if you can't see where you're going and you have a tire blowout and you don't have, if you have stuck when you have to get a rent-a-car, that's a problem if you're 100
Right.
miles away or 300 miles away and you have to be somewhere and there's no tires. So
Right.
it is something that you have to plan for and assume it's going to happen.
Right.
Because
Well, it's like auto insurance. People pay for auto insurance. I mean, yes, it's a law. You don't want to use it, but boy, I'm glad you have it when you have it.
Yeah. And I don't think people think about their windshield wipers. They don't think about their brakes. They don't think about their tires. I know most people don't think about their
Right.
tires. And then something goes wrong, and then, what do I do?
Yeah. But what is the most popular type of auto accident?
Well, I don't know that popular is.
Popular. I don't know.
You mean most common?
I think the most common accident is people not watching where they're going. I mean, and so that contributed to rear end accidents, pulling out, making turns, and they don't see.
Right.
They don't see what they're supposed to see because they're distracted. They're not looking, and they all of a sudden don't even know how they got in an accident. Well, they do, but it's because they're not paying attention. They're distracted because driving is a full-time job. And with all the distractions that there are, it's people not paying attention. And it's not necessarily them on their cell phones,
Right.
which is some of it, but distraction can be, I'm thinking about the fight I had with somebody, I'm thinking about my job, I'm thinking about my vacation. Not concentrating on what you're doing is a distraction. And it's even more difficult when the roads are bad.
Right.
Your windshield wipers, you can't see out of the windshield because all the salt sprays on it and your washer fluids is gone. And you don't have good tires, so the brakes aren't you're not braking well,
Right.
or you're sliding. I mean, I came in this morning and the roads weren't even that bad. And there was somebody on 81 off.
No kidding.
Into the, off into the ditch.
Right.
And probably means bad tires.
Yeah, I'm always the thing that gets the newer cars are different. So my truck now, if I plug my phone and I have something playing and I'll hit a button, it'll say you can't do this while you're driving. It's annoying, but you know what? I respect the fact that safety thing is in there. If I'm listening on Panda, there's certain things they don't want me to do.
Well, my car has one of those attention. It tells you allegedly that you're not paying attention. It has a scan, except that the problem is the way I hold my hand on the steering wheel. I'm always covering it up, so it's always telling me I'm not looking, even when I am.
Wait, so it's because mine has it. My Ford, I have a truck Explorer. It'll say. Like it's telling me to take a break.
Oh no, this actually looks at your face. It's right in the steering wheel, and it'll tell you you're not paying attention, and a little bell goes off.
Okay, I have the bell. I didn't know. Is it looking at me? I don't know why it does. I thought it's maybe because I, slide off the road a little bit.
Oh, no. And in fact, it annoys me because I keep my hand over the middle of the steering wheel. And now I've had to change because I'm sick of the thing going on.
Wow, look at you guys with your fancy cars. I just got a 2011.
It wouldn't have that in 2011.
It has a CD player. That counts for anything.
I kept it doesn't have any CDs anymore, but that's a problem. Does it have a USB port that you can plug things in?
I actually don't, but I do own CDs. I'm probably one of the only 25-year-olds that own CDs, including the Beach Boys, a couple others too.
Oh, good for you.
Is the data from that, like from a legal standpoint, are the computers in the car like auditable, meaning, hey, they were driving off the road before the accident happened? Is there history in there, Joe?
In fact, more and more. The more automated the car is, the more data there is. And then you add people put their phone on,
right.
Which is why I advocate never, if you have a rent-a-car, if you're going to use the system, delete everything out of it. Use the options before you turn that car in, so your data hopefully is not stored for someone else to come in and plug in and steal it all.
Oh my goodness! I never thought of that.
When your phone is plugged in, it's downloading a lot of your information into the car system.
Right.
And if you're not deleting that, the next person who comes in and gets to rent a car, who knows what they're doing, could have access to a lot or even all of the information in your cell phone.
But like if you had a distracted driver, could the data in the car collaborate or not collaborate?
Well, you would get if it was going off.
Okay.
I'm not looking.
Right.
It would tell you what was running. It gives you, tells you how fast, tells you when you applied your brakes, tells you if you slid, tells you all sorts of information. And in fact, the more semi-autonomous they are, the more information there is about everything that's going on, because there's cameras everywhere that are recording the information.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. What's the biggest mistake people do when they get in an accident and maybe they don't call you or they delay or something? What do people talk themselves into or out of that you kind of hear as a theme?
Well, the most important thing that you need to know is information. Is that if you're physically able to handle what's going on, because the most important thing is getting better if you're hurt.
Right.
But if you don't understand the process, you're really going to be in a difficult situation. And a lot of this stuff is not intuitive. And if you're involved with an insurance company, they may give you some information, but only from their perspective.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that it's not fully understandable, and you need to ask and get information.
When should they do that?
As soon as you are involved with something that's caused you harm, because there's a process for everything. We all know this. There's a process. And a lot of people think they either want to ignore the process, which is never good.
Not good.
Or they think they know what the process is, which is sometimes worse. And then they get involved in it, and then things go wrong, or they're not getting what they think they should. And they could be at a serious disadvantage because they didn't follow rules that they didn't even know existed.
So my words, not yours. If someone is hurt and is personally injured in an accident, they should have a conversation because they don't know the process. The insurance company says do this, and they do, but that might not be the best thing. Is that fair?
That's a fair statement, and that doesn't mean you have to hire anybody. I mean, I talk to people all the time and give them information. A lot of times I tell them I can't help them because you need to do it for yourself, and it can be a really big pain to do it yourself.
Right.
So you can't. A lot of the things that arise out of an accident, especially the property damage portion, most people can't afford to hire a lawyer to handle it because it costs more to deal with to hire a lawyer than the damages to the car.
So they can have a conversation either way. StanleyLawOffices.com. 800-608, a whole bunch of threes, 333-3. StanleyLawOffices.com. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.